a conduct that is pleasing not only to him, to his family, of course, to others, but most of all, that he will be at peace within himself. When you are at peace with yourself, you can also affect others in a positive way. Positive disposition is also very important, and that is what this homeroom guidance is promoting. We would like our learners to be trying to see the world in a positive perspective and trying to see our situation, even if we are now being bombarded by this pandemic. We would like our learners to be resilient, not only the school personnel, not only our adults, but also the learners. We would like them to be strong. We would like them to see that even in spite of problems that we are facing, we can still be standing tall, and that we can overcome what is the world is giving us, because we would like to be strong not only to ourselves, to themselves, but to their family and to, of course, their surroundings as well, in their community. Yes, ma'am. This is the conceptual framework, the curriculum framework of homeroom guidance. Now, the need of the learners in Philippine society and global community. So in homeroom guidance, it is not only focusing on the individual, but it focuses now on himself and the world. So it is important that a learner should develop not only to become a person that is functional for his family and for his society, but this even is the conceptual framework, the curriculum framework of home far or outmost part of the Philippines, which is globally. Homeroom guidance is dedicated to address the academic, the personal, social, and career development needs of the learners in a developmental, comprehensive, and proactive manner. This shall be realized through the collaborative efforts, of course, of the family or the home, the school and the community, and of course, government and other institutions. So, school is also a part of this development. And homeroom guidance is also guided by the American Schools Counseling Association model, which is comprised of the three domains. So at the center, we can see that there the academic developmental domain, the personal and social developmental domain, and the career developmental domain. So this framework is also anchored into different theoretical psychological bases from different theories, like Crumbolt's, the scaffolding theory, the Erik Erikson, the psychosocial stages and development, and the different theories that support this program. It is also anchored in the different legal bases which supports the program as well. So the result of this curriculum framework is for our learners to be holistically developed Filipinos, and that his potentials will be maximized. Here it is again. Homeroom Guidance is a comprehensive, developmental, and proactive program that has standards and competencies that cut across all grade levels. Remember, when I mentioned before about the RHJP program, it only focuses on the secondary learners or the high schoolers. But now our homeroom guidance, it has different modules that is prepared from the kindergarten up to the senior high school, because we would like it to be more comprehensive, developmental, and proactive. We would like our learners to be taken care of in school from their kindergarten class up to the senior high, because we would like them to be not only functional, responsible, but we would like them to be a happier individuals, and that they will reach their maximum potential. Here are the competency indicators are arranged from simple to complex and focus on the development of higher order thinking, such as analyzing and evaluating concepts, processes, procedures, and principles rather than just remembering. Well, I would like to share with you the different standards for academic domain. Number one, understand the knowledge, skills, and positive attitude for the achievement of optimum and learning in school and in daily living. Two, analyze the relevance of experiences in school and community toward academic success. The third one, utilize knowledge and skills toward academic success. And fourth, develop academic skills to respond to community development based on international standards. So out from this standard one, competencies were developed. So number one, identify the methods of effective study habits toward lifelong learning. Two, demonstrate effective study habits. Three, share knowledge, skills, and positive attitude helpful in lifelong learning. Standard 2, it has competencies. Number 1, consider positive negative experiences in school and community towards success. 2, share the lessons learned from school and community that can be used in daily living. And the third one is apply lessons of home, school, and community to daily living with consideration for family and society. The third standard is to utilize knowledge and skills toward academic success. Competencies are demonstrate talents, interests, and skills relevant to learning. 2, enrich knowledge and skills toward academic success. 3, prepare using knowledge and skills toward academic success. And the fourth standard, its competencies are participate in school activities relevant to the needs of the community. 2, demonstrate academic excellence based on global needs. And the third one, live ways that respect and protect the environment. Here are the personal social standard. Number 1, understand the importance of oneself and others. 2, analyze responsible decisions and goals toward achievement of personal welfare and common good. Third, apply ability to protect oneself and others toward effective ways of problem solving. And the fourth one is enrich ability to share oneself to respond to international standards. Number 1 standard for personal social domain. Understand the importance of oneself and others. Competencies is to value oneself, value others, respect individual differences. The fourth one is gain understanding of oneself and others. Standard 2, its competencies are examine the different factors in decision making for the achievement of success. Provide proper procedure toward responsible decision making. Evaluate experiences and decision making towards achieving common good. Third standard, its competencies are apply effective ways of protecting oneself and others. Number 2, live effective ways of addressing issues that involve oneself and others. And third is share skills helpful to solve problems. The fourth one, standard, its competencies are share one's abilities for the development of others and community, engage oneself in meaningful programs and initiatives for the common good. Third, strengthen self-empowerment to respond to the needs of the community. And the fourth one is respond to personal and social needs that can contribute to the promotion of international standards. Standards for career domain. First one is to understand the importance of knowledge, skills, and positive attitude to helpful to daily living and their relation to life and profession. Second, analyze the relationship of one's skills and experiences in choosing a profession, vocation, and future plans. Third, apply the ability to choose their own field based on the different factors toward achieving goals in life. And fourth, to implement steps toward the realization of chosen profession and vocation based on international standards. Career domain, standard one, its competencies are identify factors related to life and profession. Second, explain the significance of knowledge and skills needed in life and profession. Standard two, its competencies are gather information about life, profession, and vocation. Second, understand the importance of guidance from parents or guardians and significant adults in choosing a profession, vocation, and future plans. Third, relate the choice of profession, vocation, and future plans to one's skills, competencies, and the roles of parents, guardians, and significant adults. Fourth, strengthen the connection among knowledge, skills, and roles of parents or guardians and significant adults in choosing a profession, vocation, and future plans. The third standard, its competencies are describe the chosen field, decide for life and profession, reflect on the decisions made for life and profession. And the fourth standard, its competencies are determine aspects that need to be valued in planning life and profession, state steps to fulfill the goal in life. Third, outline plans for the chosen profession, vocation, and the future. And fourth, show adherence to steps based on the outlined plan. So here is a sample of the curriculum guide, and there will be a speaker later who will try to explain this further to all of us. Thank you very much. And good afternoon. God bless us all.
Wow, thank you so much, no, Ma'am Nena, for sharing to us the rationale of the guidelines and homeroom guidance, and of course, the history, no, of the homeroom guidance. So once again, thank you so much for that, Ma'am. Okay, so without further ado, may I call in our second speaker of our guidance, homeroom guidance orientation. And she will be discussing to us about homeroom guidance, vision, mission, goal, and definition of terms. Ladies and gentlemen, the registered guidance counselor of Buanoy National High School, Balamban 2 District, Miss Reggie B. Labastida. Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am Reggie, good afternoon. Okay, I think no murag let's try to look at our participants kung naa ba si ma'am. Yes, ma'am Reggie, you naka-mute ka, ma'am. So please turn on your mic. Ma'am Reggie Labastida. Hello everyone. Madungog ba ko, ma'am? Ma'am Nena?
Yes, Ma'am Marge.
Ma'am Marge, madungog ka ba, Marge?
Thank you, ma'am.
Murag nag-left.
Okay, so I think no, there's a problem no in terms of internet connections with Ma'am Reggie. So I think no, ang atoang slide is naka-sequence na siya. Okay, so let's wait for a while. Yes, while waiting, I know, please be reminded, do not forget to always turn off your mic, no? Kay base na rabi usay no nga mukalitra kung naay ka ng noise background, makadistract sa tuang speaker, and of course, do not click the present now button. Okay? Yes.
Good afternoon, Dam.
Yes, good
Sorry
afternoon.
ha, kay medyo ako sa off kay murag na
Yes. Let
problema.
us
So,
welcome
kanina,
our second speaker, Ma'am Reggie. Ma'am Reggie, good afternoon.
good afternoon, Ma'am Marge. Thank you so much. Sorry kaayo kay murag na igamay jud nga problema. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. To all the division personnel, to Dr. Judith Abillaneda from the regional office, and to all the public schools district supervisors, to all the school heads from elementary and secondary level, and to all the guidance counselor or guidance designates, and of course to my co-sharers. Once again, good afternoon to all of you. So I am tasked to elaborate the homeroom guidance philosophy, its vision mission statement, and to explain to you some important terms for us to understand clearly, to implement fully our homeroom guidance program. The homeroom guidance philosophy, my dear friends, the vision mission statement of our homeroom guidance were mainly grounded at the vision, mission, and core values of our department, the Department of Education. Philosophy. Homeroom guidance believes that every learner is unique and has the ability to develop him or herself using his or her own learning and experiences from family, community, school, and society. This shall be realized through the collaborative efforts of family, school, community, government, and other institutions. Why it is important to formulate philosophy? Wait lang sir ha. Why it is important to formulate philosophy? A philosophy is what we believe, right? Do you agree with me? What we believe can bring life and direction. Thus, every now and then, we have to visit and revisit this philosophy for us to be reminded. Kaya by the time nga murag kapuya na ta, so we have to visit and again revisit the philosophy, as I've said, for us to be guided and be reminded sa atuang task. And in the philosophy, there are key elements that we can find there. First, every learner is unique. We have to remember that our learners differ in terms of abilities, skills, talents, levels of learning, capabilities, and characteristics. So, dili na sila parehas. So, we have to treat them also differently. Another key element that we can find there, each learner has the ability to develop herself or himself. We have to believe that our learners has the capability to grow, develop, and improve. So do you have this attitude na we have to believe na atong learner, they have the capacity to grow, to develop, and improve. Because if you don't believe, you might be in the wrong place. So we have to have this attitude of believing that our learners has the capability to grow, develop, and improve. So for us, we have to accept, trust, be kind to them, encourage them to fully help our learners and to be able to draw out their best possible selves. Another element is the family, community, school, and society. This serves as his or her environment where our learners can draw varied learning and experiences. The school, this is our part, plays an important role in the learning experiences of our learners, especially this time of pandemic that we cannot communicate our learners physically. Another important element that we can find in that philosophy, collaborative efforts. An African proverb says, old na ni siya nga saying, but still applied to us at this time, it takes a whole village to educate a child. I think each one of us agrees to this, right? A child belongs to a family, and it's the basic duty of the parents to send his child or children to school. And our responsibility, the school educates the child. The community, government, and other institutions provide programs that will help develop our learners. They will also provide opportunities for further learning such as work immersions. Pero karon lisod pa man kaayo ang work immersions nato. So impossible pa ni siyang mahitabo karon. Let's proceed to another slide, please. Okay, so as you can see there, gitapad ang sa DepEd vision as well as the vision of the homeroom guidance. So the DepEd vision states, we dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. As a learner-centered public institution, the Department of Education continuously improves itself to better serve its stakeholders. While on the other hand, the homeroom guidance shall complement the department's goal, which is to produce holistically developed Filipinos who are able to achieve academic success, demonstrate healthy behavior, exemplify positive disposition, and systemically plan their future. It shall produce learners who can work for the common good of society while upholding the international standards. The homeroom guidance vision is what we desire to achieve. It also gives us direction to our aim and goal to fully develop our learners and help them bring to success. Can come up their good decisions, they will become productive members of our community, country, and to the whole world. Next slide, please. The DepEd mission, so it states there, our Department of Education mission, to protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education where students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner, administrators, and staff as stewards of the institution. Ensure an enabling and supportive environment for effective learning to happen. Family, community, and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. And on the other hand, the mission of the homeroom guidance is dedicated to address the academic, personal, social, and career development needs of the learners in a developmental, comprehensive, and proactive manner. This shall be realized through the collaborative efforts of family, school, community, government, and other institutions. The homeroom guidance mission explains that what we are doing and what we needs to be done to enable our learners to become what we wanted them to become. This can be realized through the collaborative efforts of family, school, community, government, and other institutions. Let me proceed to the definition of terms. So homeroom guidance is a comprehensive, developmental, and proactive program designed to equip K-12 learners with life skills on 3 domains, as mentioned by Ma'am Nina a while ago: academic development, personal and social development, and career development. So, i-chop-chop na nako. Homeroom guidance provides beneficial learning experiences that will foster positive attitudes, behaviors, and values. There, you can see that it is comprehensive. Why it is comprehensive? Because it covers the different aspects of the learning process, particularly the self-knowledge or the self-concept, the interpersonal skills, educational and occupational skills, and of course, the career development skills. It is also developmental because the activities are sequential. Its standards and competencies cut across all grade levels from kinder up to grade 12. It is proactive because, why it is proactive? Because each activities aim the directed and directed towards positive changes. And of course, our homeroom guidance is guided by the American School Counseling Association. So dili lang ni gimugda, but it is based on ASCA, American School Counseling Association model, which is composed of the three domains, namely the academic development, personal and social development, and career development. What is academic development domain? It pertains to all academic related needs or concerns of learners. This serves as a guide to implement strategies and activities to support and maximize each learner's ability to learn, which include but not limited to creative and critical thinking, communication skills, and problem-solving skills. The standards and competencies of the academic development were guided on the different theories and concepts. Common theories and concepts, I think each one of us, we are familiar with the scaffolding theory by Jerome Bruner. No, kung may scaffolding support, kay kung magtukod ta og haligi, butangan mo gina nato siya scaffolding, kay inig buhos ana sa siminto, kung wala siya scaffolding, mabungkag yun na ang siminto. So kinahanglan na siya support. This theory of Jerome Bruner states that children will become independent learners as they mature if they're given the support and active help from their parents, teachers, at the onset of their learning. Another familiar theory is the learner-centered theory by Jacques Rousseau. Learners are not to be viewed or treated as a tabula rasa or a blank tablet. So, life experiences have important role in the learning process. Learners' accumulated experiences serve as a significant factor in the whole learning process. So it is a process, so a learning might not be evident at that moment. A learning can also happen maybe by the time our students will not be with us anymore. So dili ta dapat maguol nga maingon dayon ta nga wa gyud nakamahuan ang bata nga nukha ni. So let's be optimistic, and there in the learner-centered theory, it's emphasized there that a learning will not happen at that moment, but it's a long way process. Another familiar theory, this is a cognitive theory by John Piaget. A theory explains to us that cognitive development is a continuous process. So nana siya mga stages according to John Piaget, from sensory motor, pre-operational stage, concrete operational, formal operational. So the theory illustrates to us the processes and mechanisms, how reasoning skills develop by an infant as he or she becomes an adult later on. So this another concept is the adaptation process. It is a critical part of the cognitive development. So through the adaptive processes of assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration, a person is able to take a new formation from new ideas or change existing ones and adopt new behaviors that make her or him better prepared to deal with the world around her or him. So social media at this time very strong. That is why the learning continuity plan, which is ushered by the Department of Education, hindot ni siya so that to combat all the social media para murag mag-divert pud ang time sa ato ang mga learners. Mabisi sila pag-answer sa ato ang mga modules. There's also a study of the brain, no? Cells nga. There's a part of the brain cells which is responsible sa child's decision making. So kung below 18 pa ang bata, ang kanang part sa brain which is responsible sa decision making, dili pa na siya fully developed. But if a child enters 18, it will gradually develop. That is why proper guidance should be given. Dili pwede pasagdaan lang yun na ang bata, kay kapoy na kaayo sigig follow up. So this is also our task here in school. Maybe it is also why it's also the basis why the Department of Education adopted the K-12 program. Kay before, inig mag-age na og 21, mo graduate naman ta og college. Then, with the onset of the K-12, at the age of 24 or 25, graduate na sila because of the K-12 program. Kaya medyo na nag-additional man ta og 2 years. So, when they will graduate college, niya nagpuno man tag 2 years, they will become more effective workers. Kay ning puno man ta og 2 years. Okay, so let's proceed. Personal and social development domain. It pertains to concerns or issues affecting learners' individuality or the self, relationship with others, and their interaction in community. It equips the learners with foundation for personal and social growth as they progress through school and into adulthood. This includes but not limited to intrapersonal and interpersonal skills, self-awareness, coping with emotions and stress, and resilience. So the standards and competencies under this domain were crafted from the theory of Erik Erikson's psychosocial development. So there are different phases and stages. So according to Erikson, every stage, there is a specific attitudes, ideas, skills that needs mastery in order to help learners to become successful and contributing members of the society. So from birth to 12 months, dapat ang trust atoa gyud nang i-implement or itudlo sa atong bata, because if dili, it can mislead to mistrust. Then another is initiative versus guilt, then industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and integrity versus despair. So kinahanglan i-develop na nato in every stages sa atoang mga anak, sa atoang mga learners, so that we can guide them properly. Let's proceed to career development domain. This pertains to all occupational and world of work-related concerns and issues of learners. This involves the acquisition of skills, attitudes, and knowledge that enable them to make successful transition from school to the world of work and from job to job across the lifespan. This includes but not limited to learners' discovery of their interests, talents and skills, decision-making, problem-solving, planning, and exploring their career options and opportunities. So there are 3 known career theorists in this domain. So si John Krumboltz, Donald Super, and Ellie Ginsberg. So according to Krumboltz, his theory claims that environment, life events, and learning experiences shapes one's career decisions and choices. People's changing roles, the tasks and priorities create great impacts to career direction. While Donald Super is familiar with his lifespan theory. So according to his theory, a person will undergo 5 life stages: the growth, exploration, establishment, maintenance, and decline. His concept of establishing a self-concept as a person grows, plays an important role in identifying occupation. While Ellie Ginsberg, according to his theory, this is a long process according to him. So there are phases of career development. First, according to him, the fantasy phase from childhood up to 11 years old. So, ang characteristic ani, it's more on playful acts. Very strong kaayo ang simulation of occupations. When I grow up, I want to become a doctor. Then the second phase is the tentative. This is for the adolescent stage, 11 to 17 years old. So this is very evident na, klaro na ang ilang interest, ang capacity nila, ang ilang value system. So we call this as the transition stage on the way na sa maturity, which is the realistic stage. This stage is sugod na ang career choice. Mapili na sila unsay ilahang kwaon ini college nila, the stage of exploration, crystallization, and specification. Next slide, please. Okay, so the portfolio, it is a collection of learners' works showing his or her progress in terms of the three domains. So this may include journals, reflection papers, reaction papers, and the like. So we tried this before in our school, na katong gigamit nila pagka grade 11 sa ilahang career guidance. So naa sila'y my career guidance journey, gigamit po nila pagka grade 11, then they keep the journal and use it again in the grade 12. So we encourage our learners to keep track on their performances and achievements. This has to be filed and compiled to encourage self-concept, self-awareness that can lead them to right decisions, especially in choosing a career or other plans after high school. Another, next please. Of course, the performance task. This includes the skills, demonstration, group presentation, oral work, multimedia presentation, or activities that show mastery of competencies and standards. So makita man ni nato no kada module nato or activity na agini ang performance task. And of course, the class advisor, you have the big role in the implementation of our homeroom guidance. This refers to the teacher facilitator in charge of a class. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Reggie Labastida of Puanoy National High School for
Welcome,
the
sir.
performance. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the presentation on the vision, mission, goal, and definition of terms. Thank you,
Okay,
Ma'am
my
Reggie, once
pleasure,
again.
sir. Welcome.
Okay. Next up is on the homeroom guidance most essential learning competencies. And this will the registered guidance counselor from Cordova National High School. Please welcome Ma'am Chona Humawas. Good afternoon, Ma'am Chona.
Hello, sir. I-present na, sir. Present na, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Present na, sir.
Ma'am Chona, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sir Louis. Good afternoon, everyone. My respects and afternoon greetings to the higher ups in the Cebu Province Division, headed by Dr. Andales and our three ASDS, Dr. Apaw, Dr. Perico, and Dr. Fakalan. Also our CID chief, Dr. Flores, and also Dr. Mangubat, our SGOD chief. We also have our division supervisors, especially Mrs. Jane Oberia, our ESP EPS. Also, we are graced with the presence of our regional EPS and ESP. Thank you very much, Ma'am Judith, for the presence and for the inspiration. Good afternoon to all the school heads and guidance designates and guidance counselors in our Google Meet platform this afternoon. I hope I am loud and clear. Can I be heard, Sir Louis?
Yes, Ma'am Chona. Loud and
Okay,
clear.
at this
Yes,
point,
Go ahead, ma'am.
I would like to request Mr. Charles Hapitan to please present our slide. Requesting Sir Charles to present our slide presentation for homeroom guidance orientation. So while waiting for Sir Charles to present our slide again, kay ni-exit si Marge, ni hangyo siya nga we will do the presentation ourselves na lang. So just to give you murag backgrounder of this homeroom guidance orientation, no? When I was preparing for my talk, which ako i-present karong umaabot, it took me back when I was a very new psychometrician and guidance counselor, when I was connected to a private elementary and private high school. I was the psychometrician and guidance counselor way back then. And then part of the guidance service is homeroom guidance. And I was instructed by my head, by immediate superior, to design homeroom guidance modules and lessons for elementary and high school students. So I came up with modules and activities for my students. And then eventually, I was the one who conducted also the designed modules and activities. Okay. Ma'am Jane?
Excuse me, Ma'am Chona, slides or it is her?
Yes, pwede ako lang mo-present, ma'am.
Uh,
Wait sa ma'am ha.
Ma'am Chona. Ma'am
Yes,
Chon,
sir. Yes, sir.
na ako'y copy sa presentation sent by Ma'am Marge. Can
Yes,
I try
same
to present,
yes,
ma'am?
sir. If you can present, that would be very good, sir.
Okay, okay.
Can you do
Sige,
it
sige.
for
Try
us,
na ko,
sir?
ma'am, ha? Yes,
Yes,
sure,
sir.
ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Okay,
But
okay.
I will try because nag-open naman po ko daan sa ako ang presentation, sir.
Sige, kasi ma'am, you go ahead, ma'am. Ma'am Chon.
At walang tan-aon, sir, kung asay mauna kay nako anak
sige,
po siya
sige.
sa ako ang slide.
Sige, ma'am. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Wait, sir. Okay, I will try presenting my slideshow, my slide now. Wait, sir.
by the way, Ma'am Chon, okay, while you are
Yes,
preparing,
ma'am.
anyway, while you are preparing, Sir Louie, with your permission, Sir Louie,
Yes, Ma'am Jane.
yeah,
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
meantime, I would like to ask the participants to kindly bear with us. I do understand because at this end, we all do also have an urgent issues no being resolved relative to the kinibitang reproduction of modules no. That is why the CID at the same time with the March, the STUD are having an urgent meeting at this very point in time, no? So I would like to ask our participants to kindly bear with us. Ma'am Chon, are you now ready?
Excuse me, Ma'am Jane. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet. Okay. Sige, Ma'am Chon, go on. Thank
Okay
you.
na, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay, so the third topic that we will be talking about is about homeroom guidance, most essential learning competencies or MELC. Initially, this was presented by Ms. Melinda Andres, Senior EPS of the Bureau of Curriculum Development. This afternoon, I will be presenting to you the most essential learning competencies included in our homeroom guidance program implementation come opening of classes. So earlier na-share to nako no when I was in private school. So pag join na ako sa DepEd, na I was surprised na wala na RHGP, wala na GMRC. Later on, nakayon ko nga importante kay to siya is very important, especially in teaching life skills to our students, and especially the fact na wala pa kaayo tayo kanang trained or kanang registered guidance counselor sa mga public schools nato. It is very much needed nga na ay homeroom guidance program ang school. Now, way back 2018, we were privileged, 5 of us, registered guidance counselors in the Division of Cebu Province, were very much privileged to, through the efforts of Ma'am Jane Guria, we were able to attend this 5-day training on homeroom guidance in Laguna, and we were able to immerse ourselves with the different modules in the homeroom guidance program. We walked through the different competencies and modules, and we were waiting for the policy to be implemented. But then 2 years has passed already, wala pa gihapon ang policy. So as of now, we're so happy that nanajud siya, and we are about to implement this. Initially, this homeroom guidance program is about to take off or to be implemented come school year 2021-2022. Dili pa jud karon nga school year because due to accounting concerns, mga uban nga mga preparation, policy making and everything, the BCD deem it mas ready sila kung implement siya by next school year. But then due to this COVID-19 pandemic, especially nga ang ato ang teaching learning process is more challenging na gyud. So way back sa ato ang traditional face-to-face learning, there were so many challenges na atong gi-face as teachers, as guidance counselors, as guidance designates, and as school head in the delivery of our learning, in the delivery of our lessons to our students. Much more karon nga grabe na ang challenge. So with this, the BCD lifted the most important, most essential learning competencies in the homeroom guidance curriculum to be included in the implementation of the homeroom guidance this coming October, this coming opening of classes. And so, since na-present na naman ni Ma'am Nana ganina ang sample curriculum guide with the 3 domains nga mo'y gi-focus gyud sa ato ang homeroom guidance program karon, which is the personal social, the career domain, and also the academic domain. So basically ato ra gyung i-run through ang MELC sa homeroom guidance program. So homeroom guidance curriculum is very much essential to ensure that quality guidance and counseling services for all types of learner are being accessed and being provided in the different schools. But it is a sad reality that not all schools were given this privilege nga mahatagan o guidance counselor item. Tingali po na ay guidance counselor item, but then we are short of guidance counselor applicants. No? So some schools have guidance designates which limited jud kayo ilahang training. And so, to ensure that guidance and counseling services are being given to these students, even if dili ta face-to-face, still, we try to cater to the students and give them the necessary guidance and counseling services, which will be provided by the homeroom guidance curriculum. So in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, different learning modalities are available in the implementation of the homeroom guidance program. So what are these criteria? So I shared a while ago that some competencies are being lifted from the homeroom guidance curriculum to compose our HG MELC or homeroom guidance most essential learning competencies. So what are the criteria for the selecting or the lifting of these competencies? First and foremost is the competency must be applicable to real life situations. A while ago, Ma'am Nana and Ma'am Reggie were talking about life skills development for our students. So the learning areas, the 8 learning areas, took care of the academic, took care of the different knowledge, skills, and competencies, and values and attitudes in the different learning areas. But what about the life skills? So our homeroom guidance MELC will cater to the life skills development of our learners. That is why we make sure that these competencies must address or must be applicable to real life situations of our learners. And of course, since this program is for our learners, then the competencies must address the needs of our learners, our students, our pupils. And of course, these competencies must complement the learning competencies developed in the other academic subjects. There should be no conflict or whatever nga kuan dapat mo complement siya, because the homeroom guidance as well as the learning areas should complement with each other in order for us to produce holistic learners. Kay mao man gyud ni ang pinaka-goal nato. In HG, we also tries to achieve holistically developed learners. So the next slide is a kindergarten summary of the different uh, competencies. As you can see in the original homeroom guidance curriculum guide, there is a total of 59 competencies. But then in the milk, it is downsized, reduced to only 24, wherein 41% of the 59 competencies are being included in our milk for implementation this coming opening of classes. So the breakdown states that one competency is intended for academic, and then we have 19 competencies for personal, social, and 4 for career. Why is it, ma'am, that gipabugatan man gyud nato ang personal and social domain? Nganong gamay raman sa academic, nganong gamay raman sa career? It's because since life skills man atong hisgutan, for these students to be able to achieve success in career and academic, first dapat magsugo sa iyahang kaugalingon. So we enrich the person of the learner. We try to build a foundation on the learner for him or her to be able to understand himself. And the learner could not understand others better if there is no understanding of the self. So magsugod dun sa kaugalingon, then understanding of others and that of the community mo na nga dako gyud ang ato ang value nga gihatag sa ato ang personal social. So we expect that there will be 24 competencies or modules for our kindergarten. Okay, so mao ni siya ang run through, mao ni ang competencies for the first quarter kindergarten level. As you can see, and as we go along with the different slides, padong ta sa higher levels, we will notice nga ang competencies same ra gyud. Sa senior high school, mobalik ra gyud ta. So mao ni gitawag nato nga spiral progression gihapon from simple to complex, wherein we focus on same competencies, but the attack is from simple to complex. So there we have their valuing of oneself, valuing of others, respecting individual differences, and gaining understanding of oneself in relation to others. Basically, mao na ang focus sa ato ang milk in the kindergarten. For the second quarter, we have providing proper steps toward responsible decision making. So now that they have understood themselves, understood others, and they have respect for individual differences, then we can now proceed to decision making. So we notice that as early as 5 years old, 6 years old, kindergarten level, our learners are being introduced to responsible decision making already, wherein they are able to evaluate their experiences and they can decide on their own towards achieving their goals and objectives in life. And also, we recognize the importance of the guidance of the parents and the guardians in choosing a profession or vocation. So as early as kindergarten, our learners are already introduced to career choices na. So not as complex as when they are already in junior high school, but they will be introduced to different professions and vocations, especially mga vocation, mga profession nga naa sa ilahang community. Okay, so for the third quarter, apply effective ways of protecting oneself and others. Of course, protection of self, protection from all forms of harms and abuses. So we have to empower our learners to protect themselves from all forms of danger, from all forms of harms and abuses that the community, the society might pose a risk for them. So how to empower them to protect themselves and eventually sharing skills helpful in simple problem solving. So, mao na siya ang para sa ato ang kindergarten. Also, so career na po, describe the chosen field, and participation in school activities that are relevant to the needs of the community and engaging oneself in the programs and activities of the community. Okay. Um, Also, gipabug-atan po diha sa fourth quarter ang goal setting. So how to fulfill how to set goals and how to achieve their goals. So that's for the kindergarten level. We go now to primary level from grades 1 to grade 3. So there is a total of 66 competencies in the original Homeroom Guidance CG, but in the Homeroom Guidance MILCS, we only have 33. So 50% lang ang gikuha nato nga number of competencies nga ato ang i-implement this coming school year, this coming opening of classes. And as we can see, dako gihapon og percentage ang personal and social, and we focus more, we give more weight on the academic this time. Sa kindergarten mas daghan ang career, karon academic, because it is expected that these students are adjusting from the kindergarten level to elementary level. So atong gi-maximize ang ato ang academic domain para ang atong mga bata will be able to transition from kindergarten to the primary level, wherein expected nga daghan sila og mga academic adjustments. So academic modules focusing on academic domain is being maximized here in this level. Of course, mas taas gyud ang personal social, because kung matarong ni nato develop ang personal social, then wala na kay problema sa academic o sa career. Next, as you can see, same regular ang mga competencies nga ato ang gi-cater, atong gi-focus with the kindergarten. There is valuing oneself, valuing others, and respect for individual differences. We also have understanding of oneself and others, and also sharing and engaging in community activities. We also have decision making, how to undertake, what are the steps toward responsible decision making for our grades 1 to 3 learners. So towards the third quarter, we also recognize the connection of knowledge, skills, and the roles of the parents and guardians in the career, in the development of the career domain of our learners. Okay, so we also have goal setting towards the end, sa fourth quarter. Okay. So we go now to the intermediate level, which starts from grades 4, 5, up to 6. So daghan-daghan og modules, daghan-daghan og competencies. So there is a total of 103 competencies, but only 35 competencies are being included in the MILC. So personal social 26, academic 7, career 2. So taas gihapon ang atong academic, kay mao ni siya ang nagsige nagyug-adjust academically ang ato ang mga estudyante, while also trying to battle with personal and social adjustments, especially nga kani atong mga naa sa intermediate levels, they are young adolescent learners already, and they are undergoing rapid changes, not only physically, but also emotionally, mentally, and socially. Okay, so what are the competencies in the grades 4 to grade 6 MILC? Same also, valuing oneself, valuing others. Same ragyod ang ni-revolve ragyods with the same competencies, but the activities, the standards, the competencies, specific competency for that one, mas ni higher siya. Okay, so methods of effective study habits towards lifelong learning. So na-introduce na for academic domain. So it is very important that we teach our students effective study habits and also decision making, especially that they are entering a new phase um, in their development stage, no? Nga mga adolescent na ni Padong ang ato ang naanagyod sa adolescent stage ang ato ang mga learners at this time. So very important gihapon ang decision making. Also, personal social domain. So engaging in activities of the school and the community in relation to the family and the society. Still, we recognize the role of the parents and the guardian in planning or choosing their profession or their career. So naagihapon ang career. Okay? So for the third quarter, we have protecting oneself and others. So personal safety lessons for the personal social domain wherein they're empowered to protect themselves from all forms of harm. And of course, resolving issues that involve oneself and others. Conflict management, and problem solving. Okay, so towards the end, naagihapon ang goal setting and devising steps, planning steps in order to achieve one's goal and in order to achieve academic success. For the junior high school, we have a total of 91 competencies, but then we only included 36 competencies for our milk. And academic 7, personal social 20, and career 9. So career is being intensified here in the junior high school because at this time, dapat naa na sila idea unsa ang mga available career choices and options for them, especially that when they get to senior high school, more or less settled na sila. Kay baw na sila asa ilahang padulngan. Unsa nga career, unsa nga profession, unsa nga vocation ang gusto nila i-take or likely mo fit sa ilahang interest, aptitudes, and ug sa ato ang market karon. Kay mo ni problema nato sa high school, nagsugod kay dili dapat mo pili na sila sa ilahang mga tracks and strands nga mo fit mo haom sa ilahang interest, values, aptitudes, and preferences, and also the demands of the market. So para madu-away to nato ang job mismatch nga daghan kay tag mga graduates nga wa ni match sa ato ang available nga job opportunities sa ato ang market. So in the junior high school, career domain is being intensified. Kay diri naman sila mo pili kung unsa nga senior high school track. Kay kung nakapili na kag senior high school track, hopefully mao na gyud na ang ilahang padulngan, mao na gyud na ang sure na sila sa ilahang curriculum exit. Okay, so what are the competencies that are being focused in the homeroom guidance for junior high school? Still, naagihapon ang effective study habits, positive attitude in lifelong learning, valuing of oneself, and respecting individual differences. So, naagihapon ni siya sa previous grade level. And of course, gaining understanding of oneself and others. So dili gyud ni nato, di gyud ni siya mawala. Factors related to life and profession. Sharing the lessons learned from school and community that can be used in daily living and applying these lessons to home, school, and community. Also, naagihapon ang decision making. So for the second and third quarter, there is still protection of oneself and choice of profession, vocation, and future plans. Okay, so describe the chosen field, decide for life and profession. So dili ta maghuwat nga maabot sila senior high school as early as junior high school dapat in place na ang ilahang decisions, hopefully, ideally. Then they will be able to reflect on the decisions made for their life and for their profession because your career will determine the quality of your life in the future. Of course, live ways that respect and protect the environment. And sharing of one's abilities for the development of others and the community. Still, sa fourth quarter na agihapon ang goal setting. And outlining of plans for the chosen profession, vocation, and the future. So, by junior high school, it is hoped that our junior high school completers are already set on what career track, what career path are they going to go or to choose or to go to. So with senior high school, mao ni lesser na lang ang competencies nga naa sa ato ang senior high school. 53 na lang. So ni-decrease siya from the rest of the as compared to the other grade levels. Tingali mao ni siya ang the reason siguro nga nung gamay na lang ang atong competencies kay nahatag na nato sa previous grade levels and then ato senior high school daghan na kayo silang subjects. Naa sila daghang subjects pod na mo cater na pod aning personal, social, academic ug career and then more or less stable na, hopefully stable na nga to ang mga senior high school learners. They have adjusted personally, adjusted socially, and academically okay na sila. Dili na kaayo nga naka-problematic sa ato ang elementary and junior high school learners. And career-wise, they're already settled. They already have their career plans and career paths in place. So dili na kaayo nga nakakuan ang ato ang homeroom guidance curriculum nga gi-design for senior high school. So we notice ato ang MELC wala na academic, wala na career. It's only personal social. So still dili gyud na mawagtang ang pag-develop sa ato ang personal o social domains. Okay? So let's go to the MELC. Let's look into the MELC of the senior high school. Nibalik gihapon ta. So kindergarten maora gihapon. From kindergarten up to junior high school, we have the same focus, valuing of oneself, valuing others, respecting individual differences, gaining understanding of oneself and others. Decision making, protecting oneself. Okay, same ra gyud ang ato ang mga competencies. Only that the activities and the standards are being tailored or being designed according to the level, according to the maturity of the learners of that certain grade level. So we're done with our run-through of the different MELC of the kindergarten up to senior high school homeroom guidance, most essential learning competencies. So mauna ni siya ang summary sa different key stage areas and the number of MELC for each key stage. So for academic, we have a total of 22. For personal and social, we have a total of 65, and for career, we have a total of 16. So 65% ang ato ang personal and social. So with this in mind, if na-strengthen, na-reinforce nato, na-implement nato tarong ang ato ang homeroom guidance competencies, ang program na tarong natong implement, na monitor nato, na evaluate, we are hoping that we will be able to produce senior high school graduates nga holistically developed in terms of academic, in terms of personal, social, in terms of career. They are very successful. No, so I am positive that with the efforts of each one of us ma-achieve nato ni, then we will be able to produce graduates or learners who are holistically developed. Okay, so for my last slide, I have here the number of modules, the final number of modules for the nga naa sa ato ang milk, and mauni siyang expect na to nga atong i-implement this coming, as si Sir Charles maning ihatag nato ang kuan. So this coming opening of classes, mauni ang atong i-expect na mga number of modules for the different grade levels. So kindergarten 6 per quarter, grade 1 8, 8, 8, 9. Okay, so per quarter we have 8 weeks. So roughly we have one module. We will implement one module every week, hopefully. So there is a total of 402 modules all in all from kindergarten to grade 12. And the next talk will be about updates of the modules, the policies, on how to implement, what are the things that we need to do, what are the things that we need to consider in the implementation of the homeroom guidance program. So I am hoping that with a run through of the milk, we are already set on implementing the homeroom guidance program with our teachers in the field, and with the division office, we will hand in hand take and commit ourselves to the implementation of this one para ang mga problema, perennial problems nga ato ang na-encounter sa principal's office o sa guidance office o sa classroom sa atong mga teachers, like bullying, teenage pregnancy, academic failures, drug addiction, unsa pa na diha nga mga misbehaviors will be addressed through this homeroom guidance program. Thank you very much for listening. And that
Thank
ends
you.
my topic for this afternoon. Back to you,
All
Sir
right.
Louis.
Yes, Ma'am Chona, thank you very much, Ma'am Chona Humawas, our registered guidance counselor from Cordova National High School. Thank you very much, Ma'am Chona, for the informative run-through of the homeroom guidance, curriculum, and most essential learning competencies. Thank you again, Ma'am Chona. At this point, let us proceed. We shall now move on to our next topic, which is the procedure and module development updates. And we shall learn more about this from our registered guidance counselor from Tubod National High School in Minglanilla. Please welcome Mr. Charles Matthew Hapitan. Sir Charles, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My respect to our school's division superintendent, Dr. Marilyn Andales, to our ESDS, Dr. Leia Apaw, Dr. Esther A. Futalan, and Dr. Cartesa Perico. To our regional EPS for guidance, we have Dr. Judith Abilineda, and to our very own EPS for Values Education, or ESP, and guidance, Mrs. Jane Guria. Thank you. This afternoon, I'll be going to discuss the procedure, assessment, monitoring, and evaluation of homeroom guidance as indicated in the DMCI 155 series of 2020, or the policy guidelines on the implementation of homeroom guidance most essential competencies during crisis for the school year 2020 to 2021. Let me present my slide first. Ma'am Chon, may I request to assist for the presentation of slide?
Sir Charles, wait sa sir ha. Okay, sir. Presenting. Wait. About to present, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Have you seen the screen, sir?
Presenting na. Okay, done.
Okay,
Let
sir.
me introduce myself. I am Charles Matthew Hapitan from Tubod National High School, a registered guidance counselor.
Mayari na kadit.
Madunggan na kung
Dere,
tingog.
dere.
Kira. Okay, the implementation of this program shall be guided by the following principle. First, we have the nomenclature. Next slide, ma'am. Nomenclature homeroom guidance shall be reflected in the class program of every school, in the school forms, and as homeroom guidance. It is being abbreviated as HG for homeroom guidance. Second, on the medium of instruction. The learning materials are all written in English, but the regions may opt to use their mother tongue or any language convenient to the learners to ensure participation and interaction during the session and for better understanding of the concepts. Third, on time allotment. The time allotment for homeroom guidance is 1 hour per week from grade 1 to grade 12, while for kindergarten, it will be included in their blocks of time. We need also to consider and adjust the learning modality of the learners as long as it complies the time allotment of 1 hour or 60 minutes per week. Next slide, for class program. Take note, school heads, no, the homeroom guidance shall be scheduled once a week. No, for the given example, we have here the time allotment for homeroom guidance is every Wednesday, 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. So, kamo na'y bahala, school heads, where to place the homeroom guidance period as long as na comply niya ang 60 minutes per week, no, na time allotment. Next, we have the implementer, and we have the class advisors. Class advisors shall be assigned to implement the program with the technical assistance of the guidance counselor. If the school does not have a registered guidance counselor, the school head may assign a designate guidance teacher, but make sure he or she may be provided with proper trainings specific to the implementation of this program. Next slide. Collaboration. On collaboration with the family and the community is also encouraged in order to create a venue for the learners in developing such life skills. No, it is being mentioned already, the life skills. We have the academic, personal, social, and career. So we need to remember that education is everybody's concern. So it's not just the concern of the school, it is the concern of the family and the community as a whole. No? So it takes a village to raise a child. Next, number 7, on teaching load. Remember, dear school heads, teaching homeroom guidance shall be equivalent to 1 teaching load on the top of the teacher's advisory and subjects load. So, on the top siya, appeal gid na siya sa teaching load. Then, 8, homeroom guidance shall not be viewed as a formal learning area like edukasyon sa pagpakatao and the like. It shall be treated as a project that will help learners develop the competencies needed in the 3 domains. Hence, its delivery is not quite formal but still follows the structured learning experience flow. So what is the structured learning experience flow? We have collaborative, it must be collaborative, experiential, it provides in-depth, and it provides learners with opportunities to learn and demonstrate attainment of competencies. Next slide, orientation. So it is the duty of the central office through the Bureau of Curriculum Development to conduct orientation and capacity building to region and division supervisors in charge of guidance and counseling. And I presume it was successfully done last August. Next. Okay, next, please. Regions, schools, and divisions and schools shall also conduct trainings for the program implementers. So, mo ni ang atong output karon nga orientation. So, ang district will have or will create a training matrix and will have the training to orient the advisors to capacitate and prepare them for the implementation of the homeroom guidance most essential learning competencies. Next. So this is the timelines of the activity. So last July 29, 2020, the National conducted the orientation to regions and division supervisors in charge of guidance and counseling. Gana ni siya, last August 13 also, the capacity building of region and division guidance designate in charge of guidance and counseling was also successfully done. August 17, where the division orientation capacity building of school heads and guidance counselor. So dated today ni siya, karon ni siya nga nahitabo, division orientation and capacity building of school heads and guidance counselors. So for the district, October 3 onwards, the district orientation and capacity building heads and guidance designates or counselors in the district. So depende on saon ninyo onto what platform you will do it, no? Pwede Google Meet, pwede Microsoft. So depende na sa district. Next. Number 10, the homeroom guidance most essential learning competencies or the MELCs and the learning materials to be issued by the Department of Education. Well, in fact, when we prepared this orientation na tanaw namin sa portal sa LR, no, na dito uploaded na ang mga modules from kindergarten to grade 12 for first quarter module 1. So you can utilize that one, no, para ma-prepare ta for the implementation proper, no, nga nanay sa due date. So next. Number 11, this one, please take note, homeroom guidance assessment results must be distributed and discussed, no, through parent-teacher conference by the advisor. No, naatay gitawag og learners development assessment, which is in the Annex 3 of the memorandum. No, naa dito naka-reflect ang different mga domains niya, how to grade or to assess our learners if he or she progressed kung na ba siya improvement from first quarter to fourth quarter. Attach niya siya sa learner's report card. No, naka-attach niya siya sa learner's report card. Next, number 12. DepEd schools shall include all expenses relative to the homeroom guidance implementation in their annual school improvement plan. So naa na siya budget, no, make sure school heads nga kaning program na naka-allocate sa inyong school improvement plan for the implementation. Number 13. Again, non-implementation or improper implementation of the homeroom guidance shall be subject to existing applicable administrative sanctions, no? So we are all liable if we don't implement this properly. We are all liable to the DepEd, no? So naana siya sa implementing rules and regulations. So how to make sure nga na-implement nato na ay mga rules and responsibilities of the DepEd offices. No, sa school head, the school head is the one who supervises and monitors the implementation of the homeroom guidance. So guidance counselor or guidance designate serves as the program manager and ensures the correct content and the pedagogy of homeroom guidance in school. No, so this is for the school level. Next. Ang atong mga class advisor serves as homeroom guidance implementer inside the classroom. So, mo nang dapat ato gyud i-orient ang atong mga class advisors as the specific provisions ani nga kanang memorandum, no, para ma-properly implement sila kay they are the in charge of this program po no nga sila mo implement ani nga program. Next, we have the rules and responsibilities of the DepEd offices. For the school's division office, through the Curriculum Implementation Division, in collaboration with our focal, no, we have our ESP supervisor, Mrs. Jane Guria, and through the help of the School Governance and Operations Division and the designate guidance and counseling focal person is in charge of the localization, contextualization, and monitoring, including the evaluation of the implementation of homeroom guidance for the school division level. So naapod tay kanang monitoring no ani siya sa annex 5 annex 6 of the memorandum no. Later ato i-show usahan pag monitor ani nga program. Next, for the regional office, rules and responsibilities of the regional office through the curriculum and learning management division, our regional ESP supervisor, si Ma'am Juan, si Ma'am Judith Abellaneda, siya may monitor sa regional office through the Education Support Services Division and the help of the guidance and counseling focal person. No, siya mo ay mo coordinate sa different SDOs, program manager, she makes sure nga masubmit the annual implementation report of the homeroom guidance. The next, we have the central office, rules and responsibilities of the central office to the Bureau of Curriculum Development, or the BCD, serves as the program manager in the central office. The Bureau of Learning Delivery, or the BLD, ensures the appropriate pedagogical approaches and employed on how to deliver the curriculum content. So ni-undergo na siya og mga quality assurance by our experts in the central office. Yeah, to the Bureau of Learning Resources, they ensures the availability of the learning resources to the field unit. So that's why they announce nga available na atong mga modules dira sa LR portal. You can already download the modules. For the section 6, the assessment of learners' development and monitoring of the program, though the intent of the homeroom guidance is to help learners develop competencies that will aid them in facing different issues and tasks, it is important also to still track and monitor their level of development. That's why naatay learners development assessment. No? The learners development shall be assessed through their portfolio and performance tasks. No? So naay mga portfolio and performance tasks nga gipangayo every after module. So i-compile na siya sa student niya. Ang advisor will be the one to assess no kung based sa gipangayo nga competencies adto. Then homeroom guidance shall utilize the development assessment tool, or the Annex 3, guided by the verbal description below. So what are the verbal description? So for the Quran, we have the NI, the learner or the needs improvement. This verbal description indicates that the learner has not acquired target competencies. For N1, NI, then we have the D for developing. The learner acquired some of the target competencies. Then we have the SD, sufficiently developed. The learner acquired the target competencies. And the DC, developed and commendable. The learner acquired the target competencies and showed commendable application in the real life situations. So, unsay possibility ani the guidance counselor or the guidance designate must conduct orientation of homeroom guidance and to at the beginning of the school year and hold quarterly meeting within the section advisors or the class advisors before the implementation of the program. As the needed arises, the guidance counselor must be able to provide often or other services rather as an intervention kung possible nga ang score sa bata or ang iyang assess nga kuan is need improvement, dapat may intervention na pagabuhaton ang guidance counselor with the help of the class advisor. No? Pero, uli ni dapat maka-violate sa provision stipulated sa Republic Act 9258 known as the Guidance and Counseling Act of 2004. Then the guidance, or I mean the class advisors shall refer the learner to the guidance counselor who need counseling intervention and other services no, as need arises such as referral and consultation. Okay, next, please. Section 6, Assessment of Learners' Development and Monitoring of the Program. Conduct of the homeroom guidance is mandatory. Again, conduct of homeroom guidance is mandatory, but this is not part of the academic rating. Na ano ito, separate assessment, no? Grades are just descriptive. Muna siya gitawag needs improvement. The description shall be treated as failed but shall indicate the need for intervention from the school and the home. For the monitoring and evaluation, so monitoring and evaluation shall be done from September 2020 to April 2021 or as scheduled by the department reports on the results of the monitoring and evaluation shall be submitted at the end of the school year 2020 or 2021. Usually at the end of the school year. Pero sa DMCI, no, ang iyang monitoring schedule is September 2022 to April 2021. Okay, next. For the school level, how to monitor and evaluate the homeroom guidance program for the school level. So the school head leads the monitoring in coordination with the guidance counselor or guidance advocate. The school head ensures the evaluation of the program with the help of the guidance counselor using the homeroom observation tool, see Annex 1. So later, makita na to unsa ang observation tool na gamiton sa school head o guidance counselor in monitoring the program sa mga class advisors. Next, mauni siya, no? Annex 1 of the Homeroom Guidance Monitoring Tool. So Homeroom Guidance Monitoring Tool, so grading period, for example, first quarter, then school year 2020-2021, name of advisor, rating, date and time, grade and section handled. So unsa may mga observe no nganhi. So 0 for no chance to observe, mga indication. No, 0 for no chance to observe, 1 not observed, 2 observed but insufficient, 3 sufficiently observed, then 4 sufficiently observed and commendable. Next, so for example, kani for the teacher ni siya nga evaluation, the teacher make sure that the learning modality is conducive for learning and activity. So i-check na sa school head if na kuan ba na siya kagipangayo nga indicator, no, na achieve ba na siya, or effectively organize learning situations to meet the objectives of the class class presenter. So naana dira, so pwede ra na siya mag-go through later. Ato lang nang ihatag kani siya nga kuan, kani siya nga annex, no, para for kuan. So naay in scoring, sum of the scores divided by the number of items times 100. So naa po siya verbal description na indicator. Next, please. So for the monitoring and evaluation, our schools division level, the edukasyon sa pagkakatao through Ma'am Jane Guria, supervisor under the Curriculum Implementation Division or the CID in coordination with the guidance counselor designated in the division office, leads the monitoring using the homeroom guidance monitoring tool, no, indicated in the Annex 2. So mo na siya, no, ang atong lead is our school ESP supervisor, Ma'am Jane. So atong ipakita ang next slide. So homeroom guidance monitoring and evaluation tool for the SDO level. So naapod tay monitoring tool for the SDO level. Depende na siya where we get the scores sa inyong gipang submit ng mga evaluation no from the school head or from the guidance counselors in the school level. So importante gid kayo no. So napod na siya areas to be monitored for the curriculum implementation and compliance. So napoy evidence ng ipangayo. For example, homeroom guidance, most essential learning competencies being followed properly. What are the evidence? Class, schedule, and learners output portfolio. So, i-check na po na, depende sa legend. Or, next, objectives of the program are achieved at the end of the school year. So, what are the evidence? Learners output and minutes of the meeting, advisors per grade level with the guidance counselor, guidance designate, or the homeroom guidance um, impact to learn on learners. So school heads, we will give you the monitoring and evaluation tool po para mag-go through po ninyo, no? Matanaw ninyo. Next slide. For the guidance monitoring and evaluation tool school level, monitor continuation happening. Next, please. Monitoring and evaluation for the regional level. So, our ESP supervisor under the curriculum learning or the CLMD in coordination with the ESP focus person for guidance and counseling leads the monitoring in the regional level.
Excuse me, Sir Charles. Sir Charles. Someone has
I
set
know
the
all
mic.
ang microphone.
Yes. Uh,
Sir Louis,
yes, ma'am.
please call false attention.
Okay, I think okay na, Ma'am Jane.
Okay, thank you.
Sir
Thank
Charles,
you.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So monitoring evaluation for the regional level, our ESP supervisor under the CLMD in coordination with the ESSD, focal person for guidance and counseling, will lead the monitoring in the regional level, focusing on the entire implementation of the homeroom guidance. So where they will get the kanang scores or the assessment from the submitted monitoring sheets of the schools division. So different mo consolidate na siya sa different schools division, no? Para naatay result na to sa regional level. Next slide. So for the national level, the Bureau of Curriculum Development leads the overall monitoring and evaluation of the homeroom guidance. So that's for the national. So effectivity. So the policy shall take effect in the school year 2020 to 2021, succeeding the years immediately upon the publication in the DepEd website. Pero earlier this morning, na amin nadawat nga kuan nga
Advisory.
advisory from the national advisory number BCD CSD 0 2020-269. So in reference to the implementation of the homeroom guidance for the school year 2020-2021, please be informed that the homeroom guidance modules shall be used starting October 12, 2020, and in accordance with the DepEd Memorandum 155 series of 2020 for the policy guidelines on the implementation of homeroom guidance during crisis for the school year 2020 to 2021. All schools are directed to download the homeroom guidance modules to the DepEd Learning Resources Resource Portal, signed by Diosdado M. San Antonio, our Undersecretary of DepEd. So, naka-circulate na siya nga advisory. So, effective October 12, so mag-implement na gyud ta sa homeroom guidance. Next slide. So this is the homeroom guidance learners assessment school nga gamiton sa mga advisors, no. This is for the kindergarten. So naay mga competencies for first quarter, second quarter, third and fourth quarter. So Ang buhaton sa advisor is to monitor and evaluate sa mga output o mga portfolio nga i-submit or performance task na buhaton sa mga students. So, naadra needs improvement, developing, sufficiently developed, or developed and commendable. Also for the primary level from grades 1 to grade 3. So naapod na first quarter, second quarter to third and fourth quarter. So mo ni siyang i-attach nato sa atong card then during sa pag kanang parent-teacher conference ato na siyang properly kanang disseminate sa atong mga parents unsay improvement sa mga bata na nila, no? Then we have the intermediate level, grade 4 to grade 6, first quarter, second, third, and fourth. So amo lang po niya siyang ipang upload, no, para makuha ninyo inyong makita. Okay, next. For the junior high school, grade 7 to grade 10, and for the senior high school, grade 11 to grade 12. So you can also put remarks, no? For example, value oneself. Kung nakita sa advisor nga wala gyud need improvements, so you can put remarks, no, unsay mga nakita o na-observe sa advisor. And then next. So this is the updates on homeroom guidance learning material. So the total number of modules per domain and per quarter. So academic, sa first quarter, we have 7 in academic, 4 in career, and 34 in personal social. Sa second quarter, we have 8 in academic, sa career 12, sa personal social 22, total 42. Sa third quarter, we have 8 in academic, career 8, personal social 24, and total is 40. For the fourth quarter, we have 10 in academic, 9 in career, personal social we have 18, and 37 total. So total is 164 learning materials per module and per domain. No? Then next we have number of modules per domain. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Sa kindergarten, wala sila academic and career, only personal social. Sa first quarter, sa second quarter, ang ilaha, nana sila career and personal social. Sa third quarter, nanapod sila career and personal social. Then sa fourth quarter, we have 1 in academic, 1 in career, and 1 in personal social. So naka-indicate na dira ang number of modules per domain from kindergarten to grade 12. Okay. Next please. So activities, no? So mo ni ang gi-undertake sa ato ang mga implementer aning program. So July 13 to 17, 2020, the refinement of homeroom guidance module. Then July 27 to 31, the validation of homeroom guidance modules sa central office ni siya. Then August 3 to 7, the finalization of the homeroom guidance module. Then August 13, the orientation of homeroom guidance module. Next. So updates on homeroom guidance learning material. So naay link nga gi-provide. You can also like the homepage sa atong homeroom guidance, no, na atong homeroom guidance na dito mga updates sa atong activity. Homeroom guidance Philippines. The link will direct you to the DepEd LR portal, which will need login credentials to access professional development category. So naara dira, no, ang last na kong tan-aw, uploaded na ang modules nato for quarter 1. And I think that's the end of my talk. Thank you kaayo sa pagpaminaw. Hopefully we will cascade this one to our teachers, no, sa atong own district, no, for proper implementation of the program. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much, Sir Charles. Salamat kaayo for helping us understand the procedure, and module development updates in relation to homeroom guidance implementation. Now, I think we have covered all the four topics for this orientation. So this time we shall proceed to our open forum. And to help us facilitate, to help us trafficking the questions from you, our dear participants, and of course the responses from our resource speakers, I now give you back to one of our resource speakers po gihapon. Please welcome back, Ma'am Rigi Labastida.
Thank you, Sir
Yes,
Louie.
ma'am.
So this is, thank you, sir. So for our open forum, you can type there sa ato ang chat box. Then you can also open your microphone if you want to ask something for clarifications. So our group are willing to answer if ever natin mga clarifications or questions. Anyone?
Hello. Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am Mendez?
Yes, ma'am. I'd just like to, regarding ba sa homeroom guidance is an additional load to teachers, no? And it will be handled by the class advisors, additional load. So, in the computation of the teacher need analysis, so, apil na gid siya. Apil siya, ma'am, no? So, na changes, yeah. Kay ma-counted na siya as load. So, need to revision ang teacher need analysis. Just
Ma'am Jane?
just an observation lang, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to address this to the one who asked. No, Ma'am Mendez. I understand nga ang handle sa homeroom guidance, no? It is the class advisor, right?
Ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is the class advisor. So I don't think except no kung doon na mo yung guidance counselor item, di ba? Let's say in junior high school, senior high school na ano. Pero it is expected na all teacher advisor na with respect to as being presented with the different grade levels ba. Ang teacher advisor na siya load as to in 1 week, Ma'am Chona humawas kindly, what name you present, no? In a week, there is that homeroom guidance.
Yes,
Oh,
Ma'am Jane.
na-presented, ma'am.
And
Na-presented.
Represent-
homeroom guidance is equivalent to one teaching load.
Yes, to one teaching load. So siguro, relative to teacher analysis, for the, I'm not sure yet kung mag-additional teacher ta include siya, but for the meantime, the way I understand, it should need a homeroom teacher advisor, the class advisor. So, to that extent, mura siya additional load either sa mga principals or over in the secondary, move check additional load for that matter, and then on this note ba, mo suggest ko na ano man siya,
Many sa
ang ngayon ninyong panahon, Ma'am Mendez, and the rest
Yes, ma'am.
of the school heads. Kung ang ngayon ninyong panahon sa loading, which karon pa man na to gisgutan, and then karon pa man sige na to na or ang atong orientation. So ano ang ngayon do ninyo after this tanawon ninyo ang loading ninyo sa ato nga mga teacher advisors, no? To look into as an additional load which is good for one teaching load. So kung naa siya ani consider siya as a load sa iyang side. So kung magloading na mo, nagloading na ba mo karon?
Umana, ma'am.
O human na,
Humana.
yes. Human na. Correct.
Loading na.
Yeah, ma'am, kuan sa siya, ma'am, kanang
Kaya
12. So, makamuiko, we need to echo this just before October 12. Kay we will be distributing
Yes.
an module for homeroom guidance, no?
Yes.
Ako na tagay sa teacher need analysis naman ba kay wala man we provide ang division kanang teacher attachment teacher need analysis na to wa man wala I dili ko sure man butang dito as additional load ang homeroom guidance kay bago man.
Okay,
So, perhaps i-include siya sa computation. Sa
Yes,
kanang computation, how to determine the number of teachers. At least makarecommend ka, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Now, if sa inyong loading excess ng teachers nga come out nga ma-shortage mo kay di man pwedeng mo exist sa load, no? Overloaded ang teacher, right? Am I correct? All secondary school heads. Ma'am
Ma'am
Mendez,
Jane,
di man
kanang
pwede.
overload as of karon Ma'am Jane, Ma'am Sibial from Tungkop
Oh,
National School.
okay.
Kanang
That's the time thing I need.
5-4 plan
Yes.
Ma'am Jane. Overload na ang
Yes.
teacher. Yeah.
Okay, I understand, no?
Add
So if in case
lang.
may sitwasyon sa inyong school, so I would like to suggest nga i-declare ninyo nga need mo for that matter. Kung exist na gud siya. Kung naman ko yung mga schools na nanubra, ang uban nga mga teacher nila overload, right?
Noted Ma'am Jane.
So mo na inyong pagbase, then just inform me, no, particularly nga because of that additional load that come out nga yung istilahan exist, no? I mean, lack siya. So we would like to I would like to comment na we will inform the SDO, the Office of the Superintendent, on that matter. That's the thing that we need to consider. Because I would like to say in advance, no, before my time, nga musud ko with this open forum to assist Ma'am Reggie. I am very determined. It is very clear with the presentation of Sir Charles nga it is the monitoring of the homeroom guidance relative to its implementation. It is very clear that it's under the command responsibility of the ESE in edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. Considering I am in that position, so I would like to declare my commitment relative to sa inyong problema, like ni Rose Ma'am Mendez, yan yung present. So Ma'am Mendez, kindly do the computation, do the kung need baka
Sorry, ma'am, naaman siya kanang prepared ang gihatag ang superintendent, ma'am, teacher need analysis.
Oh, yes.
Po include ang homeroom guidance. So, nata to the adjustment. Na siya
Yeah.
adjustment ba? Recommendation lang man adjustment.
Kinigood
naman
siya,
sila
kinigood siya, even I myself, no, personally, ako nag-expect nga, this is now the time that DepEd would really come to this point. Dili lang ni siya mao, doon na patay pahabol on the comprehensive sexuality education. It is to be integrated in some subject areas. Mo pa na gitanaw na kung saon nga nahimo na nga itong mga modules. But I would like to remind each and everyone, we do understand being in DepEd, there's nothing that we cannot do. Correct.
Lain po. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, naapagulain, ma'am, kanang we need additional, ikay mag-handle, ani, maghimo na po tag module, ani, sa division, no?
No, wala na ni siya yung module, ma'am.
Dili na.
Ang Sir Charles, nag-present gani,
nanay prepared, ma'am.
Even, gahapon gani, doon na nanawag na ako na principal, no, secondary principal, nga pwede na ba ko nung i-release ang wag ko nag-expect ang homeroom guidance na module sa senior high kay naka-print ako na sila, and then I told that particular principal nga I appreciated sa effort but hold on sir kay wa pa man ang orientation, but with the advisory it is very clear, no, DepEd advisory kung i-include ni Sir Charles, which we circulated kaganina pa ko nakakuha, DepEd advisory nga effective October 12 pa ipagamit ang mga modules. So we still have 1 week time preparation. And dili lang sadta kaayo mas stress ani mga dapita because I understand like our academic modules, no, with the different subject areas I refer to. Ibaw ko nga this entails expenses in the reproduction, right? So clear sa kay ganina nga it should be within relative to budget and the reproduction of the modules, no? It is very clear nga included siya sa MOA, and I understand na pag unya magawa sa ning problema, moreover wa siya ma-include sa SOB, sa SIP, kibaw ko mga bot niyo ni dinhi but ani na lang nako nga I would like to see now the kuan kining sa leadership sa ato ang mga school heads. I understand, no? Yes, I know everything that happens in your school. I believe ko may yung accountable kay it might be something negative na siya, but I would like to believe that it is under your command. And I would like to appreciate kung ato ning ma-implement because I would like go straight to the point. As I review back, no? Kami mo'y unang gi-orient ani katong the month of August nya with the while busy ko napatawag og meeting for the ato ang mga RGC for that matter for the orientation to the field. Anya nakita na ko unsa ni siya kanindot. No, and I am happy to this because if we really are committed to implement this and we believe as far as kung naminaw ta ganina sa mga presentation, no? Yun kay siya kay when we talk about when we try to give the butang ta quality education, no, relative to curriculum instruction, no, kung imo siya ikuan mo complement gid siya ang homeroom guidance nga makatabang sa ato ang mga bata. So kamo na lang timbang-timbang, but as a mandate to the department, I would like to shall we see, in this August body, I would like to express my commitment towards its implementation because this is the only thing which I would nga nakikita nako, no, nga ma-address nato ang aban pa natong problema sa ato ang mga kabataan. I really believe in that, and this is the thing that I am waiting for. Although, ano ba, before I will exit the bed, sa man to panapos.
Unsa to, madam?
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Anis. I would like to go back to Ma'am Anis Sita Mendez o Sibunga, Yaponom, no?
Bunga District.
Yes. Sige, just try to present, then include the loading of the kuan, then
Okay, mag-readjust.
mag-readjust time, sorry ha. Then we will present the problem for the request for additional sa imong teacher need. Kasi siya, gawas siya, ma'am. And then we will present it, the teacher need, out of it, gawas din siya na doon ay teacher need imong school. Then we will wait what is the response of the office.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Daghan na ba kay mga chats and ma'am nga na sila pangutana.
Okay.
Ma-entertain. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ma'am Anisita. I think na answer man siguro ni Ma'am Jane ang imuhang pangutana. So, napatay question si Ma'am Sir Melvin de la Peña. Good day.
Yes, Sir Melville.
Good day. Daghan sa mga competency sa homeroom guidance present sa milk of ESP. Pwede ba ana i-remove sa ESP or guidance program competencies? Ma'am.
Sir Melville. Hello, are you still within the meeting room? Okay, nanglista ko diri sa, I'm sorry, nanglista ko sa mga nang leave meeting. Good, nalibalik ka. Nalingaw kong panglista sa mga leave meeting. Like to Sir Louie before we end, no? Okay, mao gini ako nakita in every webinar. What does this mean, no? Kanang mo leave sa meeting ka ba, either permanently or in CR whatsoever. Sir Melville, I would like to address or to answer your question, your concern relative to, yes, I understand. Daghang competencies ay and then nga naa sa homeroom guidance, no? Can you cite one, Sir Melville? Atong i-discuss. Kay when we talk about ESP, ang ESP is more on personhood, values, and characters sa bata, sa learner.
Excuse me, Ma'am Jane. Na ako
Yes.
slide, anak, ma'am, to differentiate homeroom
Yes,
guidance and
yes.
ESP.
Ayan
Can
na
you
lang
show
ang
it?
kung sa mga kadugay, we will end up to as much
Sige,
as
ma'am.
ano? Okay. Okay na. Anyway, kuan man. Now, I understand ang ESP is more on kuan na siya, moral compass, more on morality side ba. Nya personhood, values, and character. While ang homeroom guidance is, kung inyong nakita ganina sa mga presentation, it is on the life skills sa learner. Which focus on the trade domain. Yes, actually, doon ay competency nga magparehas, nagparehas siya. But let us consider na kung doon naman gani, let's say for example, relative to values siguro, or character, which relates to personhood, o niya, muigo suggest sa homeroom guidance competency, which is under personal and social development, of course. But to the extent niya, may ingon ta nga ato siyang kuhaon, ato siyang tangtangon, let us understand nga ang ESP, before i-introduce while the MELT in ESP is being introduced sa field for this particular pandemic period, let us consider nga kato siya essential sa to siya nga nakita sa DepEd Central Office. Kailangan man ng milk. Sila may nag-estudyo ana. Essential siya out of the pila kadaghan out of the K to 12 curriculum mo ano gani siya nahabilin consider as milk sa ESP. Now, in homeroom guidance, so it is well presented that before, in homeroom guidance, moreover, in the secondary, may exist na din siya. Pero wala kay siya tagai o kinabuhi ba? No? Mga ito itong gimension Ma'am Chon na nga, sa private pa siya, pag-abot niyang public na wala na siya. No? Now, gibalik ni siya. So it is very clear from the homeroom guidance previously curriculum wherein there are those competency now kuhaan sa nila most essential in line with this pandemic. Ya mayon ta between ESP and kuan 5D ba nga ato ang kuhaan. Mangutana sad ko, we are not on the first place, we're not in the position, the district, the division office is not in the position. The milk in ESP and the milk in homeroom guidance is being developed by the central office. I would like to say perhaps tingali kung well justified ni nga issue pwede tang mo recommend, but let us look into the details unya sa unsa man unya nahitabo. But I would like to focus nga I would like to take the positive side of it. Nga naman kung ang ESP milk competency is being developed or introduced tanan concept tanan no kakayahan kaalaman unya sa learner, it is introduced, it is being developed in the ESP as a subject in the curriculum. Now, have you not seen no gipunan siya kung parehas man gani kung dunay kaparehas gipunan siya pagabot sa homeroom guidance. So we will take the positive side of it. Mapito nang giingon nga ang homeroom guidance will complement, will try to help nga ang bata in terms of its academic domain, fully kuan siya and everything, social and even personal. So kung less diri sa other areas, pwede siyang makasupport ang homeroom guidance kung naa sa homeroom guidance competency. But to the extent nga kuhaan we're not in the position. This is plainly speaking layman's term being the subject supervisor in charge of the homeroom guidance and in my capacity, no? So ako na suggest Sir Melbel na we'll take the positive side of this, that the homeroom guidance will complement, supplement, and will help to develop our learners fully to the extent holistically. At any rate, sa akong giingon, gipanguhaan naman ni siya. I hope Sir Melbel may something sort, it's not really an answer but something sort of my statement, no? Would convince you, no? Nga mo support siya. And then if tanaw nimo kindly sige, this is a one-on-one present to me, good, you have seen the idea, present to me what are those competencies saying of. But I think I already explained, no? Nga ang ESP is more on personhood, dili siya kalikayan nga moigo sa personal and social development under the homeroom guidance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Jane. Okay, so it's clearly explained by Ma'am Jane, no, nga we don't have the authority to delete unsa man dapat diha. Pero siguro maybe if naagid siguro Sir Melville, we could siguro ang integration, no, we can integrate siguro ESP to guidance program or vice versa ba. So dili siguro pwede i-delete but we can integrate guidance program to ESP. Thank you.
Excuse me, Ma'am Reg.
Yes, Ma'am Chona.
Another concern sa daghan nato nga participants is ang availability sa materials for re-eco orientation. So, katulong Ma'am Neno, we will coordinate with program management team. We will provide them with a slideshow. Also, the policy and the advisory nga mo ang nakuha. Then, sila na ang bahala nga mo cascade mo relay sa files nga para ninyo. And then, also, katong mention ni Sir Charles ganina nga please like the FB page of Homeroom Guidance Philippines. All of the materials that we are using right now are downloaded from there.
Mm-mm.
So guided
Ah,
kaayo ta sa ato ang activities through the Homeroom Guidance Philippines nga FB page.
Ma'am
Okay, thank
Chona,
you.
Ma'am Chona,
Yes, ma'am.
ah, on that note ba, yung access nila sa mga slides tanan, because I do also was able to record the concern of Ma'am Fatima Solis, no? Kung
Yes.
nakuha diri sa on screen relative to the slides, no? So, okay, so let us decide right now, Ma'am Chona, no? I would like, this is my kwan, I would like to have one person nga ilang itap nga
Ma'am,
makashare sa slides. Is it
is
okay nga ikaw,
there
Ma'am Chona?
pero naa ba tay division wide nga kuan ma'am nga group chat or page wherein makashare ta dito or we create our own?
We don't have a vision
Excuse
kwan.
me. Excuse me, Ma'am
Ay, yes, Ma'am
Jane.
Oh,
Marge.
Ma'am
Ma'am
Nera.
Marge.
Very good, Ma'am
Yes,
Nera.
good
You're back.
afternoon.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Welcome back to me. I'm done with the report, no? Very urgent report. Okay,
Perfect.
ma'am, regarding sa slides, no, don't you worry, our participants, we will be giving you the slides, no, all the slides. We only have one slide, Mandron, but it is composed of the whole, no,
Or
secrets.
topics.
Yes, for topics. So we will be giving you slides through your DPID email provided in the online registration, no, that you responded. So,
Also, ma'am,
yeah.
mag-add lang mi katong policy guidelines o advisory, ma'am, for
Yes,
additional
please,
reference.
yes. So, please, ano na lang ma'am, forward it to
Send
me
mo, ma'am.
by messenger. Yes, so we could include that one in the sharing of our files. So, we will be sending you one by one, don't you worry.
Thank you, Ma'am Marge.
Or I will be
So,
sending, oh yeah. So,
Ma'am
kamu
Marge,
kita na, no, through your DPID email.
okay.
So kung nasa iyo pa inyong DPID email, mag ano lang yun ang among basis is your email provided in the online registration. So mora jud to siya no adto lang nato i-base ngadto no para kuan. Klaro kay tanan.
Um,
Thank you so much.
Ma'am Marge,
Yes,
Ma'am
Ma'am
Marge,
Jane.
on that note ba, is it okay nga, just in case dili pa sila ka-receive ba? Dili sa ka-receive until such time nga gikinahanglan na nila, pwede ana sila mo-connect sa imo? Are
Yes.
you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Kay basin og
I will
naay
be sending, yes, I will be sending maybe tonight all the slides, including the katong pahabol, through your DPID email. And then, um, if you can't receive, no, so please do checking your DPID email kung sakto ba inyong gihatag. And then, di ba, foreman mo sa inyong districts, and then before asking, no, to the division, please also try first to ask your co-participants in your district, no? If they receive. So kung maka-receive gani ang inyong kauban in a district, and then no need to ask in the division because na naman mo sa inyong district, no? Okay. So okay ra to, no, Ma'am
Okay,
Jade?
thank you, Ma'am March and Ma'am
Yes,
Jane.
oo, ma-redundant naman good siya, and then basta once gani nga inig provide ninyo sa inyong DPID email niya, sayo po siya. That is why, no, usay dita kadawat because sayo pang DPID email nga inyong na-provide, but in your district, kay foreman mo ka participant, so you can ask. Okay, supposed to be, I will be giving the slide to your face dices, but since wala man karon na atong face dices, dili sila participant nato, so we will be giving
ah
you one by one.
Ma'am Marge, tatay lang concern, no? When kuno to cascade, this is from Ma'am Josephine Villarin, no? O pinamungahan, I understand. When to cascade to the different, to their own district and schools. Ma'am Villarin, I think this very clear ganina nga it is October 5 BN. So hopefully, if we can make it before on October 12, it is really through the DepEd advisory ba. Igapagamit na ang modules, ipahatag na ang modules. So between after next week by Monday, we're already nagsugod na tas klase no. I understand nga medyo busy na pa kayo ani, but manay ginaingon ba? Mag-anad na lang nata ni atong departamento no. Find time na lang. I would like to suggest to your PSDS says, and then find time na lang to make a way nga makakascade mo to kuan before the 12 kay ang 12 would expected siya nga on the go na with the releasing and utilization of the homeroom guidance module. So mo suggest ko nga next week find a way na lang between 5 up to 9. Kamu na lang mangitag paagi no. Kibaw ko nga kaya kainin nato no. Kani pa. Kaya gyud natong academic subject areas, walo ka bo kani pa. Are you with me, my dear
Yes, ma'am.
participants?
All right.
Kita mag-stress ani.
Okay, ma'am.
We're happy for this.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Ma'am Jean, mag-entertain ba tag-question?
Yes, Ma'am Jane.
I don't know, Ma'am Marge being the
Ma'am
management
Marge?
chair.
Ma'am Marge,
Thank you.
napatay time para sa another question, Ma'am Marge?
Yes, we still have time, but it depends upon with our participants. I think, ma'am, as we can see in the chat box, no, there's no
What
more.
is it?
Naa pa ma'am, naa pa tayo
napay
question.
daghan.
Especially
Yeah.
for the implementation.
Oo. Kani siguro nga question, ma'am, relevant ni siya. In this new normal, since there is no face-to-face, how can we observe the learner's behavior? Or in giving the homeroom guidance assessment, is it based of the learner's answer of their modules?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Chona, I would like you to answer that in the first place before me.
Ma'am Nena, Ma'am Jane, as Ma'am Nena pod ma'am. Maybe Ma'am
Ma'am
Nena has
Nen, go,
something to
Ma'am Nen.
share.
Since there is no face-to-face.
Ma'am
I
Nena
will
is
ask
one of the
Ma'am Nena.
module writers of homeroom guidance
Yeah.
modules.
Usagin siya sa writer si Ma'am Nina. Ma'am Nina is there pa. Ma'am Nins.
Ma'am Nena? Okay. By the way, no, to answer this question, right ng kanan, no? Ayun siya, yes.
Ma'am Grace from England.
Let's remember, no? Ang assessment tool, di ba, ma'am, ang assessment tool na siya term of month, ano sa i-assess ang bata? September, right? If I could recall it right. September by the next of 2021. Sakto ba ko, Ma'am Chon?
Sir Charles.
Diba?
Sir
It is
Charles,
not
ma'am.
necessarily after right there and then yes, ang bata.
Yes, ma'am.
It is, well, actually, the basis sa module, no? That is why we have to be familiar with the module on year 1 up to unsa na gihatag ron relative to homeroom guidance. And then, I understand nga, ang assessment, it is at the end, no? Or,
Per
Sir
quarter,
Charles,
ma'am.
quarterly ba to?
Yes, ma'am,
Per
per quarter.
Attached to the report card, right?
Yes, at the end of the quarter. So 4 assessments.
Yes. Ang ato nga modalities ron, learning modalities, sama ni, di ba? We do have different modalities nga kuan ang Cebu province, right? Right now. Now, one of the very thing that you'll have to consider is the module accomplishment sa ato ang learner. That is one of the thing that tanaw nato, no? As to assessment. At any rate, ang module, ang siran man na sa bata. Right sa, ang siran niya dito. Niya, all those assessment indicators, I do understand na makita na nato the way of together ata. While in the absence of face-to-face kato, may usagid ka document nga itong makita nga na-accomplish sa bata. Because kung nakita ninyo ang competency from grade 1, it is about self, no? Ako, wa pa ko kita sa module, to be honest, to be frank and honest, no? Tungod sa kong kabisi. Karon naami ron both meeting, no? sa CID o mami issues nga na-report, I have to be also open this to you because you belong to Cebu province. Na-report nga daw mas-admit. I don't know kinsa na. Medyo na-alarma mi karon, no? Both the SGUD and CID. So, naa sa module dito, let's say for example, ganina ang competency beginning grade kindergarten pa ganit, it's about self. It's about, so ang bata mo answer dito, so I understand nga ang assessment tool na to, makita sa na to sa answer, that could be one of the thing if you consider nga, makuha na to sa assessment tool, nig-assist na to sa bata, nga magamit na to, nga ma-rate na to ang bata as to. Ang sa ganito? Ang sa ganito ang rating, ani?
Na siya
Wala mo
NI,
naminaw.
ma'am, developing, sufficiently developed.
Yun, ana.
0 to 4.
Pero dili siya graded, ha? Dili siya graded.
Descriptives.
Descriptive siya. Okay na? Kasi may nag-question, ani? By the way, Miss Marge, na ako'y na-pick up nga concern ganina, wala na ako makuha ang name, kaya pop up siya. Ang mga slides daw, kung pwede ba kuno, ang DepEd email, basing problema siya sa DepEd email, pwede ba kuno sa Google Drive? Ano sa man yung giminha? Pwede na siya, ma-Marge?
Okay, for that Google Drive, no, I will ask Sir Louie to create a link for the Google Drive.
Ako ning i-address mo, pwede ba kuno sa Google Drive? Wala na ko makuha ang name, up siya sa screen. Kasi ganyan DepEd email mo ay
Could be possible.
operative ba? Are there still
Hello,
some
Ma'am
more?
Jane. Ma'am Jane,
Yes, sir. Yes, Sir Louie.
ang pag-share sa ato ang drive, Ma'am Marge, will take time kay we will have to add one email after another. Dili ta ka-add sa tanang email dayon.
Yes.
Sa Google Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I think no, your DepEd email will suffice na.
Sige.
Klaro og sa usa ka sa upat man mo ka participant sa district so na jud na sakto tingali. And since you no, there are 200, mohapit na 230 participants join this online platform. So, meaning to say, halos kamo tanan sakto ang DepEd email nga gi-provide because you were able to join in this platform.
Okay.
Okay.
Miss Marge, sige. Ang sanat ta.
Okay, murag I think Ma'am Jane, no, murag nahurot-hurot na ninyo og answer, nahurot nag-address ang tanang mga concerns nato. Am I right, Ma'am Jane? And Ma'am
Yes,
Reggie?
yes, Ma'am Marge. Ako learning to all our participants in this kanang meeting room, no? First and foremost, ako lang ipaabot ang akong pasalamat, no? Sayod ko nga siguro pagdawat ninyo nga kamoy gi-point sa inyong PSTS nga mo ipatinon, it might be bugat sa inyong kasing-kasing kay nagtuo mo nga another work, but just consider nga ang work which I really the very principle and so kog DepEd nga nanabaw kog DepEd, this is just to learn nga ang work disguise opportunity. So take this an opportunity to learn everything about homeroom guidance, and that opportunity will bring us towards kana bitang ginaingon nga makatabang ta ba sa tuang mga kabataan. It sounds siya kuan kanang idealistic, but at least naman no. Just always remember being na ako sa ESP values nga our learners, the children, no, is the most kuan nga imahal sa tuang Ginoo. So isag diha na lang ta nga we can be motivated to serve for the best for our school children. So salamat sa inyong pagsanong, no, pagdawat ani, and then looking forward to your implementation. I could see familiar names and faces, even to the extent sa tuang mga guidance designate either by virtue of the position, no, or just a designate, and I know you, and I had been working with you, and I am happy to work with you again relative on this homeroom guidance curriculum. Hopefully we'll be working together, and at least this very point in time, Not only because this is pandemic, but I think and I believe this is the right time to implement this homeroom guidance to answer all the issues and concern relative to our studentry. Moreover, in the junior high school and senior high school issues and concern. Daghan kayo ta, no? So hopefully we are still in that end. No, walang kupas-kupas. Anyway, ang ginuray mo balos sa inyo sa atuang sa inyong kabuutan, no? And I mean with the rest of the guidance counselors registered or just a designate guidance counselor, we mean work with you fullest commitment. And this is something new for all of us, for me and for all of us relative to development of our student. Sharo at the end of the school year. Sharog napatay buntis nga senior high school nga wa katiwas, sharog napatay na buntis, sharog napatay bata nga victim of child abuse. Ganina nakita na po sa Homeroom guidance, nakita ko before ko mo exit. Sorry ha. Nakita gina ko kinder ang bata sa self gitudluan na siya. Unsaon pag-protect niyang kaugalingon. Kung may tabo ni, mas seryoso ni ang bata mismo. Being at the age of 5 years old, pwede na siyang mag-disclose kung kinsay ning siyang private parts, kung kinsay ang ngayon ra nga mohikap sa private parts, not even the father and other persons, no? Kung nakuha ninyo ang ang kuan jud, daghan kay tag ma-issue ani kung really ato ni siyang i-comment. And I would like to repeat again and again, I'm really committed to this. What na lang niya mo sa kuwang monitoring. Sorry. Ma'am Marge?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, no, Ma'am Jane. Thank you for being committed, dedicated, and passionate, no? Very passionate education program supervisor, no? In EST and guidance. So, Ma'am, na ay laing pangutana.
Yes, ma'am.
Ang tanan ba daw nga teacher sa elementary, mutudlo aning guidance?
Class
Assumption na.
advisors. I think all class advisors need to be oriented on homeroom guidance, ma'am. Since all
Yes.
class advisors will be giving this, will be implementing this. And
Yes.
kung dili man gani kay sa modular man ta nga modality, ihatag raman na siya sa ato ang mga learners sa ilahang mga balay, but still they will be doing the assessment at the end of each quarter, so dapat oriented sila on how to go about with HG implementation. So the more teachers nga maka-attend sa orientation, the better jud, ma'am.
Yes, add on to that, ma'am, add on to that bang concern, no? Atong hinumduman, no, nga ang module, kung pag-present kanina sa competency, it is by grade level. And yeah, for that matter, no? Now, expected siya kung grade 1 teacher siya, expected niya sa iyang Google Classroom. Diba ang atong mga anong teacher, although module ang gigamit, that's like Google Classroom to monitor enrollment. Correct ba ko? Field people?
Na ay group chats, ma'am, ang kada
Yes,
advisor.
yes. So therefore, naagi na niya, iyan nang ihatag. Appeal na kung ang module, gihatag na to karon in the academic 8 subjects, appeal na ng homeroom on niya by October 12. No? But I would like to comment, nga ayaw lang siya o kanabang i-enforce yun ba? Like sa ato ang academic module, sa curriculum, sa 8 subject areas, saying na sa dyan, tagay enough time na makuha ang bata to accomplish the module. Inana rin na siya ka-simple. So, going back to kuan ko, ang tanang teacher ba, of course, mahitabo yun nga, ang tanang teacher, under sa iyang grade level, and the number of learners na naa niya, no? Iya nang ihatag. Matagaan, ana. Mayon na sa taron, ma'am, reproduction. Is it 1:1? Oh, ano na lang nato sa kapasidad sa inyong ispilahan relative to reproduction. Kung maingon ta sa curriculum, sa 8 subject areas, from 1 to grade kinder to grade 1 nga 1:1, Yeah, on that note, tinigtanaw na sa module, ako lang i-advise sa tanang school heads, let us keep hold of the module because as I said before, ako mismo, wa pa ko na ako ma-abli ang module, no? Tungod kay busy pa kay ko sa kani ang ato ang curriculum, no? So kung makita ninyo nga kaya ninyo and what is the necessary thing nga buhato na to buhata. And I would like to suggest to comment nga kindly kung doon na mo'y problema pa, pwede mo mutawag sa ako, mo connect sa ako. Feel free, no, to keep in touch because I am there very willing, no, to be with you, to work with you on that matter.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so
Mark,
thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for
very
that, Ma'am
good
Jean.
to end before 4:30 para malipay sa atong mga kwan kay gibaw kong maglaba pa sila magluto kay
Yes, that's it. Okay,
today is
so yes,
Friday.
since no, there is no more queries and questions, no?
Ma'am Marge, pwede pahabol ako. I would like to
Sige, sige, okay, ma'am.
say,
Yes.
ako dyan to this room, no, to this meeting room. I would like to shall we say express my gratitude to Ma'am Marge and Sir Louie. Musulti yun ko nga pag-set gud ani niya kanang kung wala pa ni si Ma'am Marge si Sir Louie, Ma'am Marge no nga nitabang ambot wa ko kay baw ano sa ami kasud related to this orientation. Kay napay module writing for the quarter 2 and lots of things that we need to do, need to do, further to do in our department. And bisan pag priority ta, but oh nako Lord. Ma'am Marge, thank you gid kaayo. Sir
Yes.
Louie,
Ma'am,
for all your
yes.
assistance. And
Thank you
the rest
also,
of the
Ma'am
speakers,
Jean.
for the rest of the speakers for accepting the challenge.
Thank you, Ma'am Jane.
Ma'am, no worries, Ma'am Jane. I am very also thankful to you, Ma'am Jane, no, for being passionate niya. Yes, Juan all kanang mga education supervisors kaya ako dyan ang idol, no. And then don't worry, we are always at your back, no, at your service, ready to assist, no, all our heads in the division office. Thank you. So thank you so much, Ma'am Jane. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So,
So,
yes.
Ma'am Marge, before we end, so allow me to read this saying first, no? Before ta mo leave sa room. So, true guidance is like a small torch in a dark forest. It does not show everything at once, but gives enough light for the next step to be taken. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Ma'am Reggie. So before we gonna have our closing prayer, let's have first the presentation of our evaluation, no? Online evaluation tool, Sir Louie. Okay.
Yes, Ma'am Marge. Kadiyot
Okay,
lang.
thank you. Thank you, Sir Louie. So you can do the screenshot, no? That would be the basis for your e-certificate. And then ang atong certificate, ano lang na siya, ihabol na siya and together sa certificate sa to ang mga speakers. And then, ang bahala na si Sir Louie Rajod. Sir Louie, di ba Sir Louie? Kaya na sila yung mga close ma'am, connectivity with Ma'am Suset. So sila na nang duha ni Ma'am Suset at ni Sir Louie karon in terms of our training certificates. Okay, Sir Louie. Trailing kaya nga to ang online evaluation tool. So please don't forget no to answer our online evaluation tool.
Nana siya, Ma'am Marge? Ako na sang
Oh, yes.
kuan sa ato ang meeting chat.
Okay. So please do the screenshot. That is our evaluation tool for this homeroom guidance orientation. No? in preparation for its implementation. Okay, so in behalf of our school's division superintendent, Dr. Marilyn Isandales, with her three ESDSS, Dr. Putalan, Dr. Perico, and Dr. Apau, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all the wonderful people, to all our dear participants, no, behind the success of this online engagement this afternoon, to our very passionate, no, education program supervisor in charge in ESP and guidance, Ma'am Jane Gloria. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jane, for your support. Thank you, Ma'am Jane. Not because of you, no, this activity would not be possible. So thank you so much, and especially to
Ah,
our school
may
heads.
balik, Mamards.
Yes.
Mamards. Ang evaluation daw na ipapresent daw balik.
Ibalik
Ay,
daw,
wako.
Sir Louis.
Oh,
Kaya lang sa nag-week ko ang Sir Louis. I-share sa ang evaluation to, Sir Louis. Okay, so our dear participants, thank you so much, no? Let's enjoy the weekend and be ready for our opening of classes and the new normal situation. So once again, thank you so much and may God bless us all. So to end up with our session this afternoon, may I request Sir Louis for the closing prayer. And Sir, okay, so later ma-share na nagbalik ni Sir Louie ang link sa War Room. Okay, so nana ang ato ang link. And by the way, Ma'am Chong, so don't forget Ma'am Chong to forward.
Yes, Ma'am Marge. Okay, forward ni mo rin, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
So expect your slides, no, tonight or maybe early tomorrow morning. Okay, Sir Louie,
Yes,
can we
Mamar.
closing prayer? By the way, Ma'am Jane, don't you worry, Ma'am Jane, because we will do the update. This orientation, no, guidance, homeroom guidance orientation this week, and then during its implementation, kay naman tay mag-report man ta. So I will ask reports from our different HID, no? District HID, Ma'am Jane. So ato lagi pong may bawan kung kano sa nila gi-implement, kano sa sila nag-orient sa ilang district.
okay,
So we
thank you
will
for
ask
that,
a report
March.
on this. Okay, Sir Louie.
Yes, Mamarj. So before we sign off, let us close this orientation with a closing prayer. As we say in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Almighty Father, we thank you for your holy presence and for your guidance this afternoon during our orientation. And we thank you for all that we have accomplished today, for the new knowledge, the inspiration, and the insights shared with us by our resource speakers, headed by our education program supervisor, Ma'am Jane Goria, as regard the implementation of homeroom guidance during crisis situation. And we also are very grateful for the presence of and participation of our participants from all the 58 districts in our schools division. And we hope that everything that is presented and discussed during this orientation will be realized by our school heads, by our guidance designates, by our teachers, for the benefit of our Cebuano learners. And as we end this virtual orientation, we put our trust in you to show us how to share and how to apply the knowledge and information for the successful implementation of our course, homeroom guidance during crisis situation in our workstations. All this we believe and pray in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Congratulations to all.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ma'am
Yes,
Jane.
thank you so much, Ma'am
Thank you to all
Jane.
speakers.
Thank you, Ma'am
Okay,
March.
na nakuan-kuan ang atong trabaho, no?
Thank you, Ma'am March. Thank you, Ma'am Jane. Thank you.
Yes, thank you to all our
Thank you, Ma'am
speakers
Jane,
and to all our
March, and to thank
participants.
you to all the competent speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Sir Moran. Sir Moran, are you still around, Sir Moran? Sir Moran. Sir Moran.
Nawagsak si Sir Mulan.
Yeah. Sige lang,
Thank
Sir
you
Kadumot.
much, Ma'am Jane. Salamat.
Salamat. Salamat, Sad. Sir Moran?
Hello, Ma'am
Pahabol, Sir
Jen.
Moran.
Hello, Ma'am Jen.
By Monday, yung tawagi ko sa Monday ha, nagkatong result sa imong PPP. Imo ba ito, no, estudyante?
Yes, ma'am. Kasi,
Ayaw
ma'am.
kalimot, ayaw kalimot.
Monday,
Monday.
Monday morning, ma'am.
Yes, mga 10. Tawagi
Yes,
ko.
ma'am. Okay,
Ihatag
ma'am.
ako ng result or ano, i-access na ko ang result sa katong imong estudyante.
Okay, sige, ma'am. Thank you kayo, Ma'am Jen. Thank you kayo, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Jane, Ma'am Marge,
Thank
Sir
you sa
Charles,
tanan.
Ma'am Reg, and Ma'am Nen.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
And congratulations to all of you.
Salamat.
Salamat.
Bye-bye. Mo leave na ko, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Yes,
Sige,
okay.
ma'am.
Bye-bye to all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ma'am Jane, salamat kay Ma'am Jane.
Hello, Ma'am March. Ma'am March.
Yes.
Ang ma'am kanang sa Garing National High School di ko ma'am unya wa bayo ko naka-register online ma'am ba kay sa school ganina wala gyud signal nya di pa paulit lang ko sa amuang school head para maka
Gahapon, wadi ka nag-register gahapon, ma'am.
kanang ang link ma'am gi-share sa ako sa among